Okay, I started from my side. Okay, fine. So coming to the SAS language elements, I think we have already discussed this one. Statements, options, informats, formats, functions, and call routines. So these are called the SAS language elements. So statements, I think you can easily identify. The first word is called a statement. Then options, options means like out equal to, rename equal to. So these are all the options. Then coming to the informat and format. Always the formats and informats should end with a dot. Okay. Then what is an informat? What's a format? Let us see. I think in SAS language, in means always to read. Informat means to read the format. Format means to write the format. So if you are using in means you are reading a format. If you are using format means you are writing a format. Okay. Let us see this example. Here I have some data like this. Data employee, name, age, sex, and salary. But here the salary is given in some format 35,000, 45,000, like this. We have a commas, right? So when it is having a comma, usually the SAS considered this is a character, not the numeric. But here we define it as a numeric only. We are not given any dollar sign. So when you try to read this, it's throwing an error showing that error is there in the first iteration, second iteration, third iteration. Means in all the 7 observation there are errors. Unable to read this character under the numeric. So what is this options errors equal to? It is to limit the errors. Okay, errors equal to 2 means next time when you submit it, then in the log window, you can see only 2 errors only. Why we are limiting these errors means to avoid the space. See, for example, we have a data around some 2 lakhs of observations. So 2 lakhs of times it will be giving, error in the complete log, so that it will occupy our complete space, right? So to avoid those, mistakes, to avoid those space issues, we are using this errors equal to 2 means we are just limiting the errors. Okay, this is a global one, so forget about this. But we are talking about this salary. So how to read this one? Because it is having a format, right? 35,000 is a format it is having. So to read this one, if you use a dollar sign, then what happens? It will be considered as a character. So it is reading, and there won't be any error. So it is reading it as a character. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So we're reading it as a character. So when you read it as a character, then it's not possible to make any analysis on this data. See, for example, write the sum salary, submit it. Okay. Now it is showing that. Check the log. What the log is showing? It is not giving the total. So it's not giving the total. Just a moment. Yeah. So this I mentioned as a some salary, right? So in the log window, it is showing that variable salary in list does not match because salary is a numeric. Okay, when you added dollar sign, it became character. So the character we cannot make any analysis. That's why it's throwing the error. So it should be the numeric only. Okay, then use an informat. Informat the salary. In which format it is? It is having a comma, comma 6 dot. 6 dot is the length of this one, including the comma. Then, so this is a SAS defined format. Comma 6 dot means we can read any data which is having comma. Okay, now submit it. We got the output. Then this in-format is eventually converting it into the non-format also. So it is reading the salary which is in a format, and it's not writing in the same format. It's converting into the non-format. You can see it's a non-formatted one. Okay, and it is also doing the evaluation. Salary sum it is doing. Okay, so reading some formatted data will be done by using a in-format. Okay, use the in-format statement. Okay, so this is the use of the in-format, and sometimes you can write this here also, no problem. Instead of using the in format, directly you can write here. Okay, because always in means to read only, so you are using a format. So in format, submit it, so it gives the same output. Check the log also, it's not giving any error. Means you can use either an in format statement, or else you can use here also, but the good practice is better to use separately in format. Okay, now now we are writing.
Kiran, this is used only for the comma.
Yes, comma is only for the comma. Only for the
Only
comma.
for the, and
Yeah.
what if we have like dollar, any
Yeah,
kind
then
of
there is separate.
currency?
Yeah, there's separate format for it. I will be showing that.
So
So
that is
yeah,
okay.
so this is in format, right? Again, if you want to use the same format, then you can use the format. Format is to again converting this non-formatted into the format. Again, we are writing the same format. See, now it is showing again the comma. So we cannot read it directly. First, we should convert into the non-format, and then again convert into the format using the format statement, like this. Let us see the dollar. So we are reading the salary which is in a comma format. But while writing, selecting the dollar. Now submit this. Then it will show with the dollar. Because you are converting this into non-formatted only. Once it became non-format, then you can add any format of your interest. So you are writing the dollar format. Or let us assume the data given to us like this only, having a dollar sign like this. So it's in a dollar, right? Then use the dollar. What's the length of this one? 3, 3, 6, and 7. So 7 dot. That's it. Now submit it. Yeah, now you can see it converted into non-format, because we can read the dollar format and convert it to the non-format. Again, if you want to convert into the same format, then use a format statement dollar 7 dot. Then it converts into the dollar, or write in a comma format, comma. Then it writes in a comma format. So what this is specifying means the length. It's a minimum length. So here I have given minimum 7, but the 7 is not necessary actually. Even the 6 also fine. But if you give 5, I mean if you give less length, then what happens? There is a trouble in viewing the complete data. See, it is not showing the comma. Though you are asking to keep the comma, it's not giving the comma because of no sufficient length. Check the log. Okay, so anyway, there's no error, but it's unable to keep the comma. So give the sufficient length. This comma 6 does a sufficient length like this. Okay, now you can see this. It is having a comma, so we have to read it using a in format. But formatting the name, because these are all the non-format. Only the salary is having the format. Remaining are all having no formats. But even though they have no formats, we can add the format. See, name convert into uppercase, age write in words format, salary, which is a comma, convert it into the dollar format. Okay, now submit this. See the output. Name convert into uppercase. But actually, when you see the data, it's not the uppercase, right? It is a lower, I mean, proper case only. Just because of this format, uppercase format, it is looking like this. Age also, the original attribute of the age is numeric only. But why I have given 25? Because to display the complete format in a complete manner. Otherwise, see, and one more thing, this length it won't affect the length of the age. Actually, the length of age is 8 only, because the default length will be taken as 8. So here we are adding the length to the format itself. It is only for the display purpose. This length it won't affect the normal length of the format. Okay, I mean normal length. So Salary, again I have added $8 dat. Why $8 dat? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, I think enough, right? 3, no, we added a comma also, right? 3 plus 6, 7. I think 7 enough. If you use 7, that is also fine, but better you use more length. Okay, if you use 6 only, then what happens? As there is no sufficient length to display, then it won't show the commas like this. Okay, and one more important thing, I am using 9.2. What do you mean by 2? After decimal, you can add 2 decimal values also. 9 is the total length, then after decimal, there should be 2 numbers like this. So here it is not giving comma. Why? Because even 9 also not sufficient to add the comma here. So better use the 10.2. Means the total length is 10, then after dot there are 2 values like this. So you can display the dots like this. Then even if you know the proc contents, it will show the attributes. See, if you write any, I mean the proc contents procedure, I think you know it is showing the whatever the data the variables are having the formats and informats, it will show. Okay, then submit this. Here also you can see name reverse format I am writing. So it's writing in a reverse. Age in words, age in words. So no format to the sex. Then salary, we are converting this one because it is existing in the comma. We are converting into $7 dot, $7 dot like this. Okay. Then okay, let's coming to the dates. See this one. The dates also you can see here. Salary in a format. Date of birth also it's in format. Which format it is? 31st December, right? So date, month and year. So you should write in format like this. In format. Salary in a comma format, comma 6 dot. Then date of birth in a date, month and year. So DDMMYY. Okay, submit it. So it's reading. It's reading and simultaneously it is converting the salary into numeric, which is a non-formatted one. Date of birth also the numeric, and also it is converting into the non-formatted one. It is a non-format. Why it is giving 0, 1, -1 means because SAS considers January 1st, 1960 as 0 day. Okay, that's why it is a 1160 means January 1st, right? So 0 day. It is 2nd January means 2 days. January 1st is 0 day means 2nd January will be 1, right? So 1. Then 31st December 59 means it is 1 day before 1960 December 31st, right? So it is -1. If you add 26 or if you add 30, for example, 30 means today. Okay, then what will be the today's day? 20,696. So these are the days from 1960 January 1st onwards. Why? Because according to the SAS, okay, so they are counting the days from 1960 January 1st onwards. Because that day they got an idea to develop this software, right? So that's why they are using these values. Means converting the dates into days. But once it converts into a days, then you can add your own format. See, you can write it to the same format, DDMMYY, then it will display in the same 31st December 59. Or you can write in a different format also. Because we need to convert initially into the non-format. So I'm writing month first, MMDDYY. Then see it is giving the month first. December 31st. It's not like 31st December. It is giving December 31st like this. Or you can write in this way also. Here, date 7 dot. Date 7 dot means it will give the month name like this. January, December, July. So instead of displaying the 1, it is giving the January like this. So why I am using 7 dot? I think 7 is sufficient here to display the 2-digit number of the year. Okay. So once you convert into non-format, then you can add any format of your interest. Okay.
Kiran, can you explain this in format of date of 3816? What is the outcome of that?
3816, right? Yeah,
Yeah, what
3816
will
means
the date coming?
20,696. So these are the days from 1960 January 1st onwards, right? So now today, what is today? Today is 2016, right? So 1960 means
Yeah.
40 years, 56 years. It is converting the
Ahead.
years into days, right? 56
Hmm.
into 365. You can count, right?
Acha,
These
okay.
are
Hmm.
20,692. Okay.
Okay, these
Okay.
are number of the days it
Days.
is
Yeah,
displayed.
days it is counting from
Okay.
1960 January 1st onwards. Okay.
Till today, number of days. Okay.
Yeah, number of days into
Okay.
365. Okay.
365. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just give a moment. The other candidate also want to second, please. Yeah, 1 second, please. Yeah. Hi. Yeah, hi. Yeah, you can record the session. Okay. So we are starting. Mm, so I think we need to talk about this year cutoff option, right? Okay. Yeah, if you don't mind, I will just mute the mic. Okay. Yeah, thank you. So, so this I think you understood. What we have done, we are just converting the SAS dates into the days. So according to the SAS, 1960 January 1st will be considered as 0 day. So that's why it starts counting the days from January, I mean, 1st 1960. So here when you see this, without using the format, yeah, now we can see it is giving 1960 January 1st as 0, right? 2nd January means it is giving 1. So it is 31st December means one day before 1960, 31st January. I mean, right? That's why it's giving -1. So I think this you understood. But here the important task is I am using DDMMYY 8 dot because it is existing in the same format, date, month, and year only. See, 31st December 59. And okay, so when you want to write in the same format 8 dot, then it will display in the same way how it is reading. Then it is writing in the same format 31st December 59, everything is same. But you know, while reading, if you write even hyphens also, it will read. But while writing, it will follow the standard only. It will use the slash only. Here I am using, sometimes some people they use colon, or they won't use anything in between also like this. Okay, or some people, I think, yeah, so it's a common practice to use like this. Or some people they use dots also. So whatever it may be, but the SAS can read. See, using this in format, it is reading, and use the format, then it is giving in a proper way only. While reading, it will read, but while writing, it has to follow one standard, right? So that's why it's giving in a proper way. There's no any problem. Okay. Then, okay. Now, if I am giving the length of 8, then it is displaying only the last two digits of the year, 60, 60, 59, 11 like this. But when I am giving more length, 10 dot, then what happens? It will give you the complete 4 digits of the year. So usually it's 60 means it is 60, but it's giving 1960 because you specified more length. So as we are giving more length, sufficient length, it is displaying the complete value. But 1960, 1960, 1959, then it's giving 2011. So why it is giving 2011? Because here I didn't mention any centuries, either 19th century or 17th century or 18th or 2000. But why it is giving some of the values as 1960, 1960, 1959, and some of the values as, see, 2016, 2010, 2011, and 1959. So why it is giving the 2 centuries? Either it should give all the 19 or all 18 or all 2000 only. Okay, because why it is giving like this means there is an year cutoff option. So based on that year cutoff option only, it's giving like this. So let us see what is an year cutoff option. I mean, let us talk in our like generally. Now it is 8 o'clock, right? So nine o'clock, I am going to finish the session. Okay. So 9 o'clock, I'm going to finish the session means which 9 o'clock? I mean, what do you understand usually? Is it 9 a.m. or 9 p.m.? So usually we'll be understanding that it is 9 p.m. only, not a.m. Right. So no need to mention. Just simply I'm saying that it's 9 o'clock means definitely you will understand that it's 9 p.m. only, and no need to mention the date also. Today is 30th, so no need to mention that I'm going to finish it on. You won't think that it is 1st September. It is today only, because whenever you are talking about some current, something, you are not specifying the other thing that's related to the current only. So 10 o'clock I have a work means today 10 o'clock only. If I have tomorrow 10 o'clock, then definitely I will mention the day, right? Like tomorrow 10 o'clock in the morning I have work. So if I mention simply 10 o'clock tomorrow I have work means you can't understand whether it's am or pm. So that's why you need to specify clearly. Okay, when you are not specifying, that is a current 10 o'clock I have work means that is obviously 10 o'clock pm only, right? In the same way, whenever you are talking about the time, so that is a current day only. But whenever you are talking about the days, that is a current month only. Right. See, for example, today is 30th, right? So 31st, 31st, I am planning to visit that place. Which 31st? Tomorrow only. Means August 31st only. No need to mention the month, August 31st. Simply say 31st, I have a work. So if it is, some October 20th, then you should mention it will be the October 20th like that. So whenever you are talking about the date also, that's the current month. Whenever you are talking about the month, that is a current year only, right? So August 15th we started. August 15th we started this year only. If it is last year, then definitely we would have mentioned it as 2015 August 30th we started like that, right? So that is about the month. If you are writing the year means that should be the current century only, right? So we are not writing always 2016. Simply we are writing 16 only. Means it reminds that it is 2016 only, right? But why it should be considered, right? 60 also it should be considered as a current century only, 2060 only. But why the SAS is considered as 1960 means everything we should consider it as a current only. But why it is giving 19th century and 20th century for the, 2019. So first dates means because there is an year cutoff option. Year cutoff option means it varies from person to person and for software to software. For example, okay, let us take Okay, let us talk about a person who born in 1976. Okay, he born in 1976. So what will be the year cutoff option of this person? You should add 100 years. Whether he like survives or not, that's a secondary thing. But you should add 100 years. So 1976, 2075 is the year cutoff option of the person. So in this year cutoff, whatever happened to him, those will happen in between these two only, right? See, he started schooling in 88. Which 88? No need to mention that 1988. He started schooling in 1888. I mean, 88 means it is obviously 1988 only, because it ended at 2075, right? Then it's not 2000. Though you are using two digit, the people will understand that it's 98, 98. I mean 88, 88 only. He finished his matriculation 91, so it's 1991 only. Okay, he finished his post graduation in 2, means 2002 only, right? Whatever happened, those should happen in between these two only. Okay, got married in 5, means 2005 only. It's not like 1905 or 1995. Okay, no, 5, right? 5. So it is 2005. 2005 only, because 5 in between these two is 2005 only. Okay, if it is 95, then it is 1995. It is 1995. Okay, because 95 means it's 1995 only, because it ended up to 75 only, right? There's no 95. So anything happens to that person means that happens in between these two only, right? In the same way, the SAS also having its year cutoff option. Okay, so the current version of the software we are using in 9.4. Okay, in the 9.4, the year cutoff is 1926. It's very important to remember. In a SAS 9.2 version,
So every version has its own year cutoff.
yeah, actually, from version SAS 9, ninth version means 9.02, 9.02, 9.3. So it is 1920. Okay, so before that, actually, I am not aware, because it came, 9 only came almost in 1995, 96, like that. So,
Okay.
I mean, I'm aware of from 1995, like that. So,
Okay.
earlier it was 1920, but recently, in the, I mean, the one which we are using in this version, 1926 the year cutoff option. So that's why when you're talking about the older version, 1920 to 2019, it should be 100 years period. So these are year cutoff option. When it comes to the newer version, it's a 1926 to 2000, yeah. So it's 2025, right? 2025. So this is the year cutoff option. So that's why whatever the values you give, okay, that will be in between these two only, right? See, 60. 60 means it's 1960 only. Then take the 11. 11 means it started. 26 means 11 means 2011 only. That's why it's giving 2011. Then 59. 59 means it is 1959 only. Okay.
But if it depends on the SAS version, then won't it be confusing? Like if a person uses SAS 9.3 version and another person uses 9.4.
Yeah, that's why we can manage, right? One second. See, the default value for the year cutoff 1926. Okay, 1926 to, okay, one second, 1992. That's, I think they have given just example only. Yeah, so 19, see, for SAS 9 point behind, the default value changed from 1920 to 2000, I mean 1926, right? So 1920 to 26, they changed it. So, I mean, that's why I'm explaining. Then, okay. But here, no need to worry about this one, because the year cutoff option we can change. See, for example, we are thinking this is the data related to some 18th century. Then it should give all the 1860, 1859, all the 18 only, right? Then we can
Right.
change it like this. Options, year cutoff equal to some 1800. Mention it 1800. Submit this. So after submitting, then print the employee. Now it will give all 18 only. See 1860, 1850, 1811, 18, all 18 only.
Oh, okay.
So you can change it. But default value in the older session, I mean in the older version 1920, but now it is 1926. It's a default actually. Because when if you are not using the year cutoff option, then by default it will be taking this only. But you can
Okay.
change it. Again, you can change it. Options. Year cutoff equal to some 1926. Then after changing it to 1926, then again it will give you 1960, 1959 like this. And what happens, for example, 1960, year 1860, then 1995, it is 2011, it is some 1959, then 1810, so 1916. So what happens then? In this situation, there won't be any effect on the year cutoff option, right? Whatever it may be. Because when you are clearly specifying that it happened in 2011, then why to assume that it is 1811 or 1711 or 1911, right? So you are giving the complete 4 digits of the year. So on this type of the data, there won't be effect of the year cutoff option because it is reading this data and it is writing, right? So there won't be any problem with this. Okay. And one more important thing here, automatically the SAS will make some corrections. See, I have given DDMMY by 8 only, but here I have given 4, 6 to 8 and 10, right? But still it is giving, but better, you give 10. Then it will read and it will write in the same format. I mean, without giving also it will do. But when you are using some older version like 9.2 or 9.3, then it will throw the error. Because all these bugs got fixed in the 9.4 version. Okay, these small issues will be automatically corrected. Okay, then this, okay, let's talk about the time. 1 second, please. Yeah, so I'm taking one more data set now. In this data set, I'm using time. Yeah, so we have a time like this. Name, then time of work. So usually the time will be written like this only, hours, minutes and seconds. So writing AM, PM is mandatory or not mandatory. If you are writing in a 24 hours format, no need. If you are writing in 12 hours format, then we need this AM, PM, right? So even this is also in a format. The time of work also it's in a format. We cannot read it directly. So what to do? Use an in format, the same way. In format, what is the variable name? Time of work. Time of work is time 10 dot format. 10 dot means count 2 to 4 to 6 to 8 into colons 10 10 dot. That's submitted. Then it converts the time into seconds. Usually it converts the dates into days, but the time into seconds. See how it converts in seconds means it's 1 hour 20 seconds AM, right? 1 hour means how many minutes? 30 into, I mean 60 into 60, 3600 seconds and 20. So 3620. So the time will be converted into seconds. Time, the format time reads seconds from 12 AM of the current day. So that's why it's converting the time into the seconds only. Time into seconds. So PM means it is only 1 minute actually. 1 minute means 60 seconds it has to give. But you are using PM. PM means 12 hours, 12 hours seconds it's converting. Or if you use this AM, then it will give only 60 because that is 60 seconds. 60 seconds, right? So this is like converting into the seconds. Then if you need the same format, then use the format same time 10 dot, then it will display in the same format. But In the above example also we discussed, while reading it will read, but while writing it follows standard. So it is following a 12-hour standard. So it's giving like this. But if you want to show in AM PM format, then use the AM PM and give sufficient length also. Then it will be displaying the complete AM PM also like this. AM PM. Okay. So this is a format.
Kiran, by default, it will consider it as AM only because in this Rajesh row, we haven't mentioned any AM PM for 9 hours, 30 minutes, 15 seconds.
Yeah, no, but
So what it will read it?
AM only, right? No, actually, see, if you use the 19, then it will consider,
It will PM.
yeah,
Okay.
PM it will give 7:30 PM
7:30, yeah.
because we
Okay.
are
So it
converting.
will work in 24 hours.
Yeah. See, if you don't use this AM PM, then it will give, see, in the 24 hours format
Okay.
because we are not mentioning, right? So if you mention the AM PM, then it gives in a 12 AM form. I mean, 12 hours format like this.
Okay.
Okay.
So we need to mention this AM.
Yeah, AM PM we need to mention. But while reading, we can read. We can read. It will read. Okay, it will read. I mean, here anyway, when you are writing means first of all you should know, right, whether it is AM PM. See, if I give 7:30, I mean, for example, if I give 7:30 like this, then how can you understand that is 7:30 AM or PM?
Yeah.
Even we cannot understand, right? So the SAS will treat it as a, it will start counting from the 12 AM, right? Then 12 AM is 7:30 AM comes first.
AM only. Yeah.
So yeah, then it will be reading it as a AM only, considering it as AM only.
Okay.
Then if you mention, then it will read it as a PM. See, I'm using PM, then it will read it as a PM, then it will be PM, 7:30 PM like that. Okay. Okay, so this is about the, I mean, just time. But sometimes, time and date will be given together like this. Date time. See, 1st January 1960, 00:15. See, if you have, time and patience also, then you can, I told you, right? So there's a separate book on the date and time. So it contains a lot of examples. The essential guide to SAS date and time. It's not needed now. The basic things we are discussing, but when you are working in some financial sector where you need, date, days, month, so many formats are there. You can see month name, okay, like this September. If you want to display only the SCP, or sometimes you'll be displaying the SCPT, then September, okay, like this December 13 or December 2013 you want to show, then the format month YY means month and year with 7, like this we have. See, you can have a lot of formats here. Julian formats are there, quarter formats are there, like this. So we have a lot of things, right? So it's, I mean, this book is especially on the date and time only. So the separate book on date and times, the essential guide to the SAS dates and times. Okay. So, but we are not discussing all this. And yeah, and one more thing, I think I forgot to explain the Julian. The Julian is little bit important. So we have one Julian format also. What in the Julian? Julian means not now. In the olden days, they used a calendar, Julian calendar. It contains only the days and month, days and year only. There is no January, February like that. So just days. But in this 61 364 means it is 1961. It is December 30th. 30th. So even we can write 1961 364 also, means it is having only 2 digits of the year. It is having complete 4 digits of the year. So how they write that today means today is 16, right? 16. And what is the current day? It is August 30, right? August means almost 80, 18, 3, 24, 24 plus. Okay, let us assume 240. Approximately I'm writing 240. So this is a Julian format actually. It's a year, it contains the year and the days also. So we cannot read it, right? So use a format. informat ABC, some Julian format it is. What's the length? 7. Then whatever the format may be, it converts into the non-formatted value. Non-formatted means what is 61? Or else you can write 60001. Means 96001 will be considered 0 day, right? See, it converts into 0. Whatever it may be, using this in format, the SAS will convert this into the non-formatted. These are non-formatted values. Then convert into the format. So format ABC. So some date 9 dot. Then it writes in a date 9 dot format like this. January 1st, 1960. Today is 27th August. It is, I think it's approximately we have given, right? So 243. So that is 30th August. Means according to Julian, so the current, I mean, they will write 16243 as the current date. Means 30th August 2016 in Julian format, they will write like this 16243. So this is the Julian format. Okay, then when you have the date and time together like this, 1st January 1960, hours, minutes and seconds. Okay, like this we have. Then even we cannot read this directly. Without in format, anyway it's giving the error. Then you should use the in format. It's having both date and time together. So write the date and time. Then submit. What happens? It converts into the seconds. Means 1960 January 1st is 0 day. Then 15 seconds. So 15. 25th February 1980 means how many days these are? 1962, 80 means 20 years. 20 years into days. 20 into 365. So 7,300 days. So these many seconds means it is converting those 7,000 the days and these many hours into the seconds. These are the seconds. Okay. So means when you take only the date, then it starts counting from 1960. When you take the time, then it starts counting from 12 a.m. of the current day, only the seconds. If you take both date and time together, then it starts counting the seconds from 1960 January 1st onwards. Okay, then use the same format to display. Then use the same format to display it. Then it will be showing in the same format, or else you can use date time AM PM format. Then it will show the AM PM format. Okay, so this is about the date and time. Okay, just I explained you one example only, but we have a lot of examples in that book. Okay, so we can work on that, and that is around some 250 pages. Okay, that's why I told you, right? So for formats we have not only this book, and there is one more book also related to the power of proc format. This one, the power of proc format. So this book is all about the formats and informats only. It is also 125 pages, so it contains a lot of formats and informats. They gave in a classified manner. Okay, like this. But we didn't finish the formats. We have to finish today. So this is about the date and time.
You will be sharing this
yes,
PDF,
yes.
no?
Yeah. I will send it to you. Then date time, then time AM PM, and Julian date 9 dot, date 7 dot, DDMM by way, comma 6 dot, dollar, reverse, and what is this? All this like reverse, words, dollar, upcase. So these are all the SAS different formats, right? But you can create your own formats also. So formats are of two types. One is SAS defined, and second one is the user defined. So we finish this SAS defined. Few formats we discuss. Then coming to the user defined formats. In the user defined formats also, again we have different types. Like one is character format. Second one is numeric format. Third one is picture format. So like this we have three types of the formats. Let us see what is the character format. So character format means creating a character format. Okay, let us take a data set of your interest. So we are copying in the SAS help. We have a data set called the cars. Let's copy this into our work library. Okay, so cars, proc copy in where it is SAS help, out work library, select cars, run. Then it got copied. So this cars got copied into the work library. Then open it. It's a very big data having almost 428 observations. So having a lot of observations, then we'll do one thing. We have different car types and models. Okay, let us select only few variables. Data, new cars, set cars. We are copying the cars into the new cars. So while copying, here I am adding observations equal to 15. Just I am taking only 15 observations. Okay, submit. Then we got the new cars. Sorry, keep it here. Then the new cars, we have only 15 observations, right? We select only 15 observations. Then we can select the variable names also. Let us take only few. Model, origin, keep equal to model, origin. I'm just subsetting MSRP, cylinders, and let's take the length also. Length. Okay, submit this and print it. Print data equal to new cars. Yeah, so I have taken only just 15. I made a subsetting, right? So it contains around some 380, but we created a new data set just with only some variables. Model, origin, MSRP, cylinders, and length. Okay, so I think this is also not suitable for us. Okay, instead of this, let's select a different data set then. In the SAS help, we have a class. Select that class. Proc print data, proc copy equal to, or else directly you can copy like this. Data class set SAS help dot class. This we are copying the class from SAS help to work library and then print it. So this is the data we have. In this, we have the name, sex, age, height, and weight. F, M. Then convert this F into female, M into male using a format because it contains no any format. See the class. It contains no any formats and informats. So display the F as a female, M as a male using a format. So let's create a character format here. So how to create a character format means proc format value. So value means give some name, any name you can give. For example, I'm giving some Dimple. So we are creating a format, to appear the character in a different way. So this is called the character format. Or else simply you can easily identify which one you want to convert. F should be F to be displayed as a female, M to be displayed as a male. Okay. So left side we are using the character data. So that is considered as a character format. Use a $sign to print it as a character format. Okay. Now proc format, value dimple, F is female and M is male. Select it and submit. After submitting, in the work library it created a catalog, formats catalog. We call it as a catalog. Open it. So it contains a dimple. Check the log also. There is no error. Dimple has been output. Then right click, view it. Then it is showing in a box. F is considered as female and M is male, and the maximum length you can use is 6. Sorry, maximum length you can use is 40. In the above also I think you understood 20, and we use 12, 10. So these lengths will be defined by the SAS. So but here we are creating this format. So this format by default length is 6. Okay. Then maximum is 40 and minimum length is 1. So you can use dimple 10 dot, 5 dot, 20 dot, 30 dot, you can use up to 40. And the minimum is 1 dot, like that. Okay. So minimum length, maximum length, the default length is 6. And how many values are there? M and F. So number of values 2. Then format name is dimple and the default length is 6. F is female, M is male. So we created this format and you cannot find in the older version. Means this type of option will not be there in the older version. Like when you click it, in the older version you cannot see this view. Okay, but how to view the format, how to see the content of the format means in the older version usually we use this option. Proc format library equal to work library fmt lib. In the older version, the 9.3, so we use this statement. Okay, then it will be displaying the content. If you click on it, it will show the same thing. Or else if you write this statement also, it will give the same thing. Okay, but in the newer version, anyway, you can see. But sometimes if you want to display, then better it is to display the format. To display the format content. So we use this statement. Okay. Even in the 9.3 also you cannot see this view. Okay. Then this is creating a character format. Okay, we created a format. Then how to apply? In the same way like we applied. So proc print data equal to class. So I'm printing, right? So while printing I'm applying the format. I think you know about the proc print procedure. Whatever you apply while printing, so these are not applicable permanent to the data set. Okay, let us print the class without any formats. So it's printing like this. Then while printing I'm adding a format the sex with the dimple format. If you're not giving any length means the default length is 6 only, right? Submit. Now it is showing the F as female and male, M as male. Means while printing you are displaying the sex as a M as a male and F as a female. Now when you open the class, see it contains no any formats. And open it, here also it's not showing any formats. Why? Because while printing only we are adding the format, right? So we are not assigned this format permanently to the data set. Then how to assign the format permanently to the data set means in the above examples we have done, right? See, we use the format here. We use the format here. Means in the data set itself we should add the data step itself. See, data class, set class. Means we are copying the class into the class. While copying only add the format here. Then proc print data equal to class run. So while printing I am not adding any format now. Submit. So we got the output with a format, and right click and see here it is also showing the dimple as a format. Right. Means we created a character format. It is the user created one. So after creating this we are just printing this, or else we can assign it permanently to the data set using a format statement in the data step only, right?
Kiran, we can use it globally as well for other data sets also.
Yes. It's not only for this. We can use, for example, we have an employee also. I think it is also having the same thing, right? So we can print it. Print data equal employee. Then format the sex as a. I mean, not only to the variable sex, you can add it to any variable.
Yeah.
But the format should end with the dot. See, it is showing. Okay,
Okay.
this is fine. Or okay, let us say take the A. The A. mm, you take any data set. But it just changes the value from M2 male and F2 female. That's it. Yeah. So this is creating a character format. Clear? Now let's create a numeric format. Creating a numeric format. Numeric format. Let us see what is a numeric format. Numeric format means we can apply it to the numeric values. See here we have different ages, right? 15 years, 14 years. Let's make them into groups. Like up to the 11 years, let's make them A group. Then 12 to 13 years as a B group. And 14, 15, 16 as a C group, like that. You can categorize them. Numeric, we are categorizing like this. Proc format value, you can use any name. Okay, some Nikhil. Then here low to 11 years. We can use low as a numeric only because these values will be considered as a numeric only. Low, high, and other are allowed as numerics in formats. Okay, when you are creating the formats, these values are considered as numeric only. See here, I am writing the F and M in quotes, but here I am not writing the low in quotes because it considers a numeric. Low, low to 11, some A group. A group. Then 12 to 13 as a B group. Then 14 to high you can use C group. Submit. Then it will get stored, and I am not using any dollar sign here because left side I am using numerical values only. Then open the formats, even the Nikhil also there. Right click and view. So what is your format? Length is 7, it is taken by default. Then low to 11 A group, 12 to 13, 14 to high C group, like this. Then apply it to the dataset while printing. So let's apply it to the class only. Here, but already the dimple got permanently assigned to the sex. No need to write this format. See, in the class, it is already assigned permanently. So no need of this one now. It will show. Then we are adding it only to the age. What is the format? Nikhil dot. Submit it. So it is showing instead of the age, it is showing the C group, B group, and it is only while printing, right? Not assigned permanently. So we can assign permanently also, so that here also it is instead of showing 15, 14, it will show with the groups only. How to add permanently? The same way. Data class, set class, then already this permanently added, then add the Nikhil also permanently, then print it. Now it is showing like this. Then open this class. Now it is showing with the formats. Okay. So this is creating a numeric format and applying. In the same way you can create a picture format also. Creating a picture format. So creating a picture format means, okay, let us see. Wait. Okay. So weight or height, I want to show with a 62.50%. Or let us assume these are the marks. Okay, 62% of the marks. So okay, let us do one thing. So the class, right? So data class, I'm renaming the height equal to score 1. then weight equal to score 2. Score 2. Always, the code should be balanced. Brackets also balanced. That's very important. 2 opening, 2 closing. Right. We are renaming the height into score 1 and weight into score 2. Then set class. Run and then print the class. So now we can see it became the score 1, score 2. Okay, then display the score 1 and score 2 as a not like the 62 point. Okay, here anyway it's 112, right? So 112 means make it half. So we are changing this one, modifying the variable. What is the score 2, right? Score 2 equal to score 2 by or score 2 by 2. So we're dividing the score 2 by 2. Then it will give the half only, like this. And this is a new variable. Already score 2 is there. So you are overwriting on it. Right. So this is the data. Means we just made it half. Okay. Means we converted this into half and also we renamed the variable names. So now this is the data set we have. Then let's create a character format. Picture format. In the picture format, proc format. So why I am calling as a picture format means in the above formats, when you are creating a format, I am using value and value also value. But here we are using a picture. That's why we call it the picture format. Picture. You can use any name like ABC. Then low to high. What do you mean by low to high? Low to high means to all the values. Low to high means to all the values. The value should appear like this. Like this. All the values should appear like this. Means 2 decimal values, then 2 integers, and a space and a percentage like this. So this is the picture format. Then apply this picture format while printing the class like this. Format score 1 should appear as ABC dot. Now submit. See the score 1 62.50. Earlier it is 62.51. The appearance has changed. We can apply it to the score 2 also. Score 2 also ABC dot. Then it appears as a like this. And if you add one more 0 here, then appearance will be changed like this. Or we are adding one ending bracket. We got a bracket. Then starting bracket we cannot add because here we have one rule. Prefix equal to use the prefix. Syntax error. Yes, now it's giving no any syntax error, but it's not showing, right? Might be the length issue. Let us see the ABC. Default length is 9. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, default length is 9. Okay, let us see the 9. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 is not sufficient. Let's keep that. Yes. So default is 9. So 9 is not sufficient to display. So that's why you're adding more. Then it is showing a bracket also. Like this. You can add any sign. Okay. Like this. So this comes under the Even in this we can add some colors also. So no need to bother about this because we have a big topic called the reporting. So at the time of reporting, we'll be discussing more about the style attributes, adding the colors, Even in the place of female and male, we can add the diagrams also. We can add a male diagram here, female diagram like this. I mean, you can add some icons. You can put some images. So even that all comes under reporting. So because, right, it generates high resolution graphical reports also. So it's a good reporting tool too. So that's why when at the time of learning the reports, I will be showing all those. And even some colors also. For example, C group is there. Or those who got more than 60% will be shown in green color. Those who got less than 50%, then they will be shown in red color like that. So you can even add those formats also. Okay. So that's all comes and while reporting, we'll be discussing them. Okay. So these are the three things we discuss. What are the three things? Picture format, then it's a numeric format and the character format we created. But in a single shot also we can do like this. This is a character format. So it's a character. Then this is a numeric one. Numeric. Then this is a picture format. Like this. So in a single step you can do. So this is a character format. It's a numeric format. It's a picture format. You can create multiple formats also. And one more important thing here, actually we are using this class data, right? So when you open it, it is showing female with a format, age with a format. Okay. Then right click and view the columns. It is showing these two are having the formats. But if I remove the formats, I deleted the formats, then the formats we deleted, but the linkage of the formats will be there only, right? Now try to open the class. So it is showing unable to open. Why? Because Dimple and Nikhil not found. Got it. Means we created the formats and we assigned the formats permanently to the data set to open. So we cannot open because these formats are not there now. We deleted them, right? User defined formats we deleted. Those are not the SAS defined. If it is a SAS defined, then the SAS will remember. But user defined means that should be there in the work library. Okay. So as we remove the formats, then anyway it is not showing. It won't show the even data also. It's unable to open the data also because the formats are not existing. Okay. So what to do? We can view temporarily without these errors. We can view. We have an option. Even we cannot print it. See, dot print data equal to class run. Submit this. So it's not printing, showing the same error. Not found, not found. So use an option. Options. No format error. Means don't give the format error and then print it. Now it's printing. But while printing also it won't show any format. It's printing in a non-formatted only. Because it's still having the format links. Because we are not removing the links permanently. Maybe we'll add the formats in future. Okay, let's create again. Let's create a format in this. Now when you print the class, now when you print it, now it is printing. Okay, now try to open this. Now you can open it because those formats are available. Okay, let us remove this. Then again, the formats are not available, but it is showing non-formatted only because we used this option, right? No format error. That's why it's unable to. I mean, anyway, it's not giving any error. Okay. So this is. But how to remove the formats? Because somebody gave us a data set with a linked formats, but the formats are not given to us. So we have to remove those links. How to remove the link means same way. Data class, set class, then format. Which format you want to remove? All the formats. So use underscore all underscore. Submit it. That's it. All the formats were deleted. Now open the class. See, no formats are there. Then it's opening without any formats. Means the linkage of the formats we deleted. So delete the format links to all the variables. So if it is a one variable, then you need to mention. If it is sex, then simply write the format sex. Okay. So it is removing the formats linked to all the variables. Okay. So this is adding a link and removing the formats. Now we'll perform a small task. Okay. So what is the task? We want to create these formats and store them permanently in a location and give these user defined formats to some other person who want to use the formats. Means the formats which we created can be utilized by the other people also. Okay, make them available. So you need to store the formats permanently. So how to store the formats permanently means, okay, here if you store in anyway, these will get stored in the work library. So it's a temporary one. So instead of storing in the work library as a temporary one, you do it in a permanent way then. Permanent means, let us select a location. So in the D drive, so there is a folder called the J. Okay. So in this J, let us store the formats D drive J. So give a lib name, some apple, then D drive J is the location. In this location, store these three formats. So proc format library equal to apple. So mention like this. Then it will get stored in the apple only. Now open the J. See the formats are there. Okay. Means we store the formats permanently in that some location. Then apply these formats to the class and store it in the same location called the J. Okay. So data apple.j set class. Sorry, apple.class, right? So we are creating a data set called the class in the apple location. What is the apple? That is nothing but the data J. Then we are copying this class. While copying, I am adding the formats to the sex dimple dot, then to age adding nickel dot, and to the score 1 adding abc dot, and even to the score 2 also I am adding abc dot, like this. So but because I have chosen this, right, so I add the 10. Now submit it. What happens, even this data set also will get stored in the J. Okay, now close the SAS. So we closed it. Even though you close, we have a data set and the formats also related to this data set only. So usually it happens in the clinical. The clinical will be using our own formats. So when you are getting the data, you will be getting the data along with the formats. So how to apply this format to the data set? Let us see. Or just forget everything and think that we got this folder D-J with the dataset and the format. Now how to open this dataset by applying these formats? Let us see. First open the SAS. Then what is the location? So you have to define the location to see these in your library, right? So D-J. Create a lib name, some orange, D-J. Then it creates a library called the orange. You can see the orange here. In this orange we have the class and formats, right? Now see the attributes, it's having the formats. Then open the formats. Yes, formats are there. But when you try to open, see it's not opening and throwing the same error. These are not existing. Why? Because these are there, right? But the SAS, it won't search for the formats in this orange. It will search for the formats in the work library only. Okay, see. In the orange, I am copying this folder as it is and paste it here. Okay, now try to open the class. It's opening. Means always the SAS will search for the formats in the work library, not in any defined library, right? So this is an important question, and in the examination also, basis examination also. By default, the SAS searches for the
So
library.
every time when we work with formats, we will need to copy the
No, no,
formats into the
no,
work library.
no need, no need. We can specify. I mean, we can ask the SAS to search in that location like this. So we have a options format search equal to in which library orange. So give this statement. Give this statement, submit it. Then it will be searching the formats in the orange library. See, now there is no anything in the work library. So after giving this, now open the class. It's opening. It's opening. Then you can print it like this. Proc print data equal to orange dot class. Run. Then it's printing. Then if you want to remove the format content, then we can remove like this. Okay, let us remove this formats. Now there is no any format, and we can remove the linkage also. Data orange dot class, set orange dot class, then format underscore all underscore run. That's it. Now open the class. It contains no any formats and no any format linkages, nothing, no any formatting. So you need to remember this one. Options format search equal to. So searching the user defined formats in a specific library. Or if you have multiple formats, like multiple libraries also sometimes, I mean, we have the formats in multiple locations. Then, so library orange, then you should write like this, apple, okay, tomato like this. So these are all the uh, libraries you are asking SAS to search for. Okay, so write all the libraries name like this. Yeah. Okay.
Why are we giving the source and the destination as the same?
Where?
Data orange dot class, set orange dot class.
I mean, because I want to overwrite on it. Right. It's overwriting, right? Because we are overwriting. See, in this orange we have the class, right? Again we are creating the same class in the same orange. It means we are copying this one while overwriting, then we are making the changes. Because in the SAS always overwriting will be there, right? So that's why. One second. This one. Okay, I think I explained in a different window. So no problem. One second. One second. I'll be sending this to you. Okay. And one more thing, Jay, can you attend bit early tomorrow? As you told, like we can do 1.5 hour session. Yeah, I'm fine with that. But can you do at 7:30?
7:30, yeah,
to
that's
9.
fine.
That's fine, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Then we can do 1.5 hour from tomorrow onwards. 7:30 to 9 we will do. Okay.
okay.
Okay then. Thank you. Good night.